All right, let's talk about electrical engineering. For the 2026 school year, it is an absolute giant. I mean, it's the engine that powers Taiwan's entire semiconductor industry. And for so many of you, it's a golden ticket to an amazing career. But here's the catch. The competition is intense for every single spot. So how do you get that edge? Well, today, we're cracking the code. We're going to find out which subjects you really need to nail to get in. First, let's just look at the numbers, because they're huge. In 2026, we're talking about 2,036 admission slots for electrical engineering. That makes it the second biggest major by enrollment, just a hair behind information engineering. So yeah, the opportunity is massive, but believe me, so is the competition. And you know, there's a really good reason why it's so popular. Electrical engineering is the heart of everything, from designing integrated circuits to manufacturing them. And for a global semiconductor leader like Taiwan, that means the job prospects for graduates are just incredible. It's no wonder so many people are aiming for a spot. So that brings us to the big question, right? With thousands of other students all fighting for those same seats, where should you be focusing your energy? Which subjects are the actual gatekeepers that will get you admitted? We're going to answer that, and we're going to use hard data to do it. Okay, so to get to the bottom of this, we first have to understand how universities actually make these decisions. It's not as simple as them looking at all your grades equally. So in this next part, we're going to decode those complex admission rules and figure out what really, truly matters. First, let's get a key idea straight: decisive subjects. Just imagine the whole admissions thing happens in a few rounds. These decisive subjects are the ones universities look at in the very last stage. You know, when they have to make those super tough calls between really great candidates. Your scoring these subjects can literally make or break your application. And to measure just how important they are, we use a cool metric called contribution to admission opportunity. It sounds complicated, but it's not. The idea is really powerful. Let's say a department is taking in 30 students, and their decisive subjects are math and science. Well, you could say each subject is responsible for getting 15 of those students in. It tells you exactly how many seats on the admissions bus each subject helps you secure. So, now that we know how we're measuring this, what does the data actually show us? Let's pull back the curtain and reveal the official, data-backed ranking of the most important subjects for getting into electrical engineering. When you look at all of the EE departments combined, the results are crystal clear. There is one undisputed king: Math A. We're talking about the advanced math track, the stuff that's essential for science and engineering. After that comes natural sciences, then English, and you can see Chinese is lagging pretty far behind. Just how much of a king is Math E? Get this, it's responsible for over 772 admission opportunities all by itself. That number tells a very simple story. If you want to get into EE, your Math E score isn't just important, it's everything. So here's the bottom line. You can basically group these subjects into two teams. On one side, you have the critical trio. That's Math A, Natural Sciences, and English. These are the pillars of a winning application, no question. And on the other side, you've got Chinese. It's still a factor, yeah, but it's clearly a much lower priority for the field as a whole. But you might be wondering, does this trend hold up for the most competitive, the most sought-after universities? Well, let's zoom in on a couple of big names and see for ourselves. Here we go. We're looking at two of the most prestigious programs out there: National Taiwan University and National Cheung Kong University. And what are their decisive subjects? You guessed it: English, Math A, and Natural Sciences. The critical trio is the standard. This just confirms that this strategy is absolutely essential, especially if you're aiming for the top. And this isn't just random. There's a really deep reason for this focus. As the analysis points out, this preference shows the field's intense demand for logical thinking and quantitative skills. Math is the language of logic, and natural sciences, especially physics, gives you the foundational theories. It all just makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Okay, we've looked at the data, we've figured out the strategy. Now it's time to turn all this knowledge into action. This is your game plan for that final, crucial push before the exam. The General Scholastic Ability Test, the GSAT, is just 2 months away. This is not the time to be spreading yourself thin. This is the time for laser focus. Every single hour of studying counts from here on out, so let's make sure you're putting that time where it's going to have the biggest impact. So here it is, your data-driven priority list. Step 1, and I can't stress this enough, this is non-negotiable. Maximize your Math A score. Pour your energy into this. Step 2, lock down your natural sciences and English. Make sure the foundation is absolutely solid. And finally, step 3, maintain your Chinese proficiency. Don't let it slide, but your primary battleground has to be that critical trio. So let's do a quick recap of the key takeaways. Electrical engineering is a fantastic choice with a ton of opportunities. The number one key to unlocking those doors is your Math A score. It's backed up by those other critical pillars, natural sciences and English. We've seen that this holds true even for the top universities, and using this data to focus your study plan is, without a doubt, your best strategy for success.
We've laid out the roadmap for you. We've decoded the rules of the game. The path forward is clearer than it's ever been. So the only question left is for you. With this clear strategy, how are you going to focus your efforts these next 2 months to go out there and grab your dream spot in electrical engineering?